Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Todd, Papy, Chris Roberts and Tony Zorovic answered a load of questions about the development and game features of Star Citizen and Squadron 42 in a birthday AMA. I'm going to split this up into 3 videos, focusing on the answers from each of them. This is the Todd Papy edition. Todd is the Star Citizen Life Director and loves unicorns. Last year at CitizenCon, we saw NPCs moving between physics grids and walking out of the Valkyrie in the 2019 CitizenCon. What is the current status of this? We currently have a few bugs that we need to work out that will allow AI to path between ships, planetary surfaces, and man-made locations. What is preventing FPS NPCs from appearing on planets and moon surfaces outside of missions or set locations? We need some planetary nav mesh work done. We have a fair amount of it completed. Then, once it's done, we can start to implement it into missions or random encounters. When that's done, the AI will be able to transition from ship to surface smoothly. This will also open us for building creatures, space cow or larger animals, or boids, very small creatures, frogs, birds, maybe ranta, to add life. How do you envision NPC Crew gameplay? First steps are building out the player functionality to those roles, captain, engineer, etc. Similar to pilots and turret gunners, we currently have some of those AI functions like flying the ship, but would still need to build the glue for AI like what they can do off duty. The captain or owner of the ship will need a way of setting roles he wants the NPCs to do. The captain will also need a way to interface with the AI to tell them what he wants, like fly to a set location or attack a certain target. We are still planning to allow players to take remote control of NPCs. That's actually quite massive what Todd said there. So that is the agent smithing thing that I actually thought wasn't going to be in game anymore, but that will allow your friends to go, oh, one of my mates is in a Carrack that's flying off into the distance. I wish I could join him. Well, if he allows you to join them on one of the NPCs that he's got in his ship, you can actually just remote control, go into that NPC and then be that NPC while you're flying around missions and doing stuff, which is potentially pretty cool. What is the plan for computers and computer blades? Will they be used for more than just automating turrets? Here's some things that have been discussed that are being thought of for hardware, new blades, or software being loaded onto the computer or blade. These would be types of ideas that we would bring online over time. Missile defense system, which automatically fires correct countermeasures to avoid being hit by missiles. Encryption, decryption blades, allowing data to be encrypted to prevent theft, and also providing the means to attempt to decrypt data. Emission controllers, allowing the pilot to set strict limits on emission production, providing additional warnings and shutting down unnecessary systems automatically. Obviously that will be for stealth purposes. Offensive E-War blades, enhancing overall offensive E-War capabilities, could speed up or strengthen offensive programs and viruses, or offer new ones to run. Defensive E-War blades, the same but for defensive capabilities, granting further protection and reducing the potency of offensive programs. Mining blade, speed up mining scans and provide additional information, pinpoint pockets of ore, mineral density, etc. Salvage database, speeding up scanning wrecks and providing additional information, so you'll be able to pinpoint valuable ship items, show materials contained within a wreck. Criminal database, providing a list of known criminals or unlawful activity and the ability to accept bounties to track them down and bring them to justice. Hit list, the same basically but for pirates. Basically a hitman list, I suppose. Enhanced route navigation, essentially enhanced star map and navigation options, letting pilots know how dangerous a route is, and then enabling them to pick different routes based on speed, safety, or avoid certain areas. Trade database, allowing traders to view the buy-sell prices in different places in the universe while they're on the move, rather than having to be at a physical trade station. Shield management blade provides enhanced controls to shields, allowing finer control or maybe automated control. Stellar charting system makes it easier to discover jump points if and when they move elsewhere, possibly also makes jump travel easier. So that's quite exciting for me as well, that particular blade, because that suggests to me that we will be finding other jump points and mapping them, and that will be not super rare, maybe reasonably rare, you see what I mean? Item lock blade further enhances the targeting system to allow the pilot to lock onto specific parts of a ship so that they are able to take out individual systems. Interested to know, is that just for sort of like the more auto gimbal type stuff, or is that also going to help me if I'm using manual gimbal? Maybe. I suppose it will draw the pip more accurately so I can target a system. Cargo Manifest Masker disguises the items in your cargo manifest to allow you to hide contraband from initial ship scans. Internal security systems, providing internal ship info, positions of life forms aboard the ship, and the ability to lock and unlock individual doors. Drone Management Blade, allowing ships to control onboard drones. So I really liked all of those ideas. Obviously, that is not an exhaustive list, nor is it something that they will definitely have for all of those, but they're discussing that's what they sort of want and the ideas going around for Blades at the moment. And that's beyond what had already been sort of discussed with automating turrets to some degree and things like that. So it's in addition to that, I believe. Has there been any progress on the plans for data running and hacking? It hasn't been forgotten. Personally, it's one of the professions I'm looking forward to the most. We just have some higher priority work that needs to be completed first. We are focused on delivering big physical cargo first. What's happening with Theatres of War? Currently, it's being worked on and tested. Ideally, Sean and Rich will be able to give an update to everyone once it's ready to play. There are 95 systems, 324 planets, 74 moons, and 50 space stations, as well as 76 asteroid formations in lore. Even working at pumping out 10 systems a year, this could take 9 years to get them all out. Without focusing on tools, how are Cloud Imperium tackling this? We're not ready to go full bore on all these systems. We are building up the tools, knowledge, and the people to power to be able to deliver the systems quicker. Can't talk about tools, ? That is what allows us to build faster and faster as they get refined. That's how we've adjusted building a moon in a year to building it in 2 weeks. We have the same goals for space stations. A lot of time and work goes to building up the asset packs. Once we have the assets built, we can put locations and planets together fairly quick. Putting gameplay hooks into locations will take time to place and make locations feel special. Obviously, the quality and detail level of the solar systems that were initially planned in the very beginning of the crowdfunding have drastically changed over production of Star Citizen. Once we realised the level of detail that we could go into with the planets and the landing zones, we wanted to push the limit of fidelity. Comparing Star Citizen to Privateer and Freelancer systems, you are getting exponential amount of gameplay and detail on each planet and moon. We are trying to build up the team to deliver solar systems in one drop versus iterative approach that we are currently doing in Stanton. Pyro ? Yes. Are rivers planned? Yes. What are the plans to make those systemic missions less repetitive and more engaging? Doing what we call mission modifiers and leveraging our unique locations. Take a basic mission of delivering a cargo crate from an outpost to a space station, add in one or multiple of these basic modifiers. FPS AI want the crate. Ship AI want the crate. A cargo crate that is volatile. Pick up in a hostile location. Drop off is in a hostile location. The list can go on and on. How in depth will the new pipe vehicle resource system be that moves resources and power around the ship and converts it into whatever needs the ship has? And will it apply to other structures beyond ships? Pretty in-depth, where you would have to reroute power and or physically replace an item to the ship to keep it up and running. Yes, we are planning to do the same for stations and outposts. Depending on the setup, certain functionality might be accessible to players and some might not be. For example, on a NPC-run major station, the player probably won't have access to turn off gravity or life support in the common play area. And that's it for the Todd edition of this AMA. I think that information on computers and blades were probably the most exciting thing that we talked about there. Knowing that they have so many functions, sort of like planned or ideas for, some of them quite minor, others very major functionality. It's really hard to comprehend the scale of the work as well that's going into building the larger universe and gameplay area, because really we only have a single system and that's not even fully fleshed out yet. So when they're starting to scale that, it's going to be awesome to see the universe sort of come together. But obviously we need things like server meshing and all that sort of jazz. Sometimes with some of the stuff it's better to show than tell with like the star system stuff, because as I said, hard to work out and comprehend scale. NPC crews and NPCs fleshing out missions and locations is going to be awesome and obviously essential to the game. No Fallout 76, no NPCs bullcrap when it launches. That said, Fallout 76 does have NPCs now. Anyway, I digress. I'd love to know what you think. What would you use computer blades for? What would you like to see them used for your ship? Are you planning to have an NPC crew? Do you think that star systems will start to be built up more rapidly in the future? I suppose there will be, obviously, but do you think that's a mid-term thing, or is that going to be much more longer term before we start to see lots of star systems? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway for October 2020. It is for a Mercury Star Runner. This highly anticipated multi-role ship is going to be great for small to medium-sized crews that want to do a bit of everything, whether that be cargo running, data running, missions, combat, smuggling, all that sort of jazz. And it's going to be in-game and flyable very soon. All you've got to do to be in for a chance of winning one is comment on any of my videos made during October, including this one. More details down below. What am I shilling for today, I hear you ask? Do you hate it when people steal all of your money and your house over the internet? I know I do. NordVPN may have been invented by wizards to help protect your personal data from the prying eyes of the dark web, a sinister cabal of technomancers that grow in power the more they know about your browsing habits. The true story of NordVPN's origins are unknown and lost to the ages, and without using facts, no one really knows how it provides more accessibility to otherwise censored websites or a safer security experience for all that use it. All I know is that it does, and that when you sign up to it, the power level of my bank account grows, and I use it, and maybe you should too.